What's up, extraordinary researchers, followers of white rabbits, confronters of the unknown, plungers into the extraordinary and interesting? I want to show you something that will make your lives a little bit easier as we continue to work on our annotated bibliographies. So you submitted the first entry of your annotated bibliography yesterday, Thursday, the 16th of July. So today is Friday, the 17th of July. Your second and third entries are due this coming Sunday, July 19th by midnight, of course. So I want to show you how to properly cite these different sources. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the library, go to the library homepage. So here I am. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to where it says articles underneath the find. So it says books and media, articles, and web resources. We're going to click on articles. So the two databases that I highlighted were Opposing Viewpoints and Context, and then EBSCOhost. So let's look at Opposing Viewpoints and Context. Click on that here. Internet's moving a little slow today. Okay, so just for the sake of this example, I'm just going to click on this topic. So explore this topic, let's make it a little bit easier here. Now again, I want to reiterate, this is something that was in the video, the other video where I showed you how to use the different databases. I want to reiterate that this right here is just background information. So if you click read more, it's going to open up the whole thing. This is just background information. I do not, let me repeat, I do not want you to use this as one of your sources. It's just meant to give you a little bit of insight into the topic itself, okay? So you might be wondering, well, what the heck can I use? Where are the sources? Let's go to click on previous page, so this little button here at the top left-hand corner. So you scroll down, and then we have a whole slew of different sources that you can use. All of these are fair game, right? So I'm just going to click on this one right here, just for the sake of example. So if I am unfamiliar with MLA format, and many of you probably are, you may not know all the intricacies, how it works, how to cite different things according to MLA format. Uh, we might be a little lost, a little confused. So if you look at the top here, there's this icon that's kind of like a quotation mark here, and it says cite. So to cite, it means to reference a source, right? So we're going to click on that. And up at the top of this little box that appeared, we have MLA 8th edition. That's what we want to use, and that's what was already formatted there. Perfect. There's also APA, so in other classes that might use APA, that you could do that, and it'll format it according to APA or Chicago. But for our class and many of the classes that you'll write essays for in the humanities is MLA, right? So here it is. It's right here. So I can go ahead and just copy and paste it, and then I can, so I have a little document here, I can go ahead and just put it right there. And there it is, except a couple of things that need to be adjusted here. One of the problems with citation generators is they're probably, I would say 9 times out of 10, incorrect. Not the whole thing, but there's usually a little detail in there that's not right. So this right here, this detail, the way they titled it, they didn't capitalize the title like we should. So I need to go ahead and do that. That's what we call a preposition. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. A preposition, we don't need to capitalize those. The is what's called an article. We don't need to capitalize those. But these other words here, we do. And that right there is how we would format it. So let me show you how to do that in EBSCOhost. So I'm going to click out of this, go back to my main library page. And remember, EBSCOhost is under E, so we can click on that. Here it is. It's very popular. Click on EBSCOhost. So again, it's going to automatically highlight Academic Search Complete and Master File Complete, and then there's a bunch of other ones that you can include here, but for the sake of this example, I'm just going to keep those selected. Just go to Continue. Now I'm going to use that those same search terms that I used in the previous video where I showed everyone how to use these databases. I'm going to go, online education, it's already there, cool. And then, COVID-19, already there. Excellent. And I make sure that it's clicked on full text. Now, COVID-19 was just discovered in 2019. That's what the 19 stands for. So I don't need to worry about my, my publish date because I can pretty much assume it's going to be within the last 365 days. So let's go ahead and search that. Okay, so I'm going to click on this first article just for the sake of example here. Now it gives me all of the kind of the particulars of the article. It has the abstract, which is a fancy word for summary. But if I want to look at the actual text itself, then I can click on PDF full text. Okay, oh, this one has some imagery, very nice. So on the right hand side, I highlighted this in the previous video, but I didn't mention the part about citation. And part of that is because that video I actually made for my previous semester, and they had a textbook that had all the MLA stuff in it that we were using, but I decided to get rid of that book for our class. So we don't have that MLA guide there. But let's go ahead and look on the right hand side. So we have an icon for Google Drive, an icon for print, an icon for email. So if you wanted to email the article to yourself, which is a super smart thing to do to keep track of them, you could do that there. You could add to a folder, so you could create a folder to kind of keep the different articles you found together. That's a good way to organize. And then we have this right here where it says Cite. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now it has a bunch of different formats: ABNT, AMA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, Harvard Australian, Harvard. I need MLA, of course. MLA is what we're using. So I look here and it has the citation formatted according to MLA guidelines. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this, copy, go back to my document here, paste. Now I'll fix this formatting later because see it has kind of like a gray highlighting around that. Now, what did I say about the citation generators? They're 9 times out of 10 wrong. There's something missing in here. So up here, you notice there's this section. It says accessed July 17th, 2020. I too need to have the access date for this. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in to make it correct. Now, one thing that kind of bothers me, this is just a personal thing, but it probably bothers some of you as well, is this big long URL. It kind of breaks it apart, it kind of skips a line because it's so long. So I'm going to find a really good place to break the URL up to split it. I'm just going to say here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a space, and then boom, it kind of fixes that issue there. So, okay. Well, that is how you use the citation generator machine from both opposing viewpoints and context and the EBSCOhost database. But what if I'm looking for an article just on the general internet, right? So some of the sources we find are probably going to come from the general internet. So let me show you how to cite that. So I'm just going to click on this website, The Atlantic. This is a really good kind of a news monthly, well, when it was in print, it was a monthly thing, but they update this pretty much hourly because the news is always evolving. But it's a really good news site. They have a lot of different types of articles on a lot of different topics. Of course, a big one right now is coronavirus and things of that nature. But so I'm going to go ahead and just click on this article just for the sake of example. Okay, so this article is called How Trump Closed Down the Schools. That's the name of it. And then they offer a little bit of a kind of a summary, kind of a teaser of it. It was written by this writer, David A. Graham. Has some imagery here. There's the article. Okay, so how do I cite this? Well, I'm going to go to a little website that many of you have probably heard of, but if not, no worries. I'm showing you now, called EasyBib. So let's click on that. Oh, I actually already have it done there. Let me show you how to do this. So when you go to EasyBib, check that. Just go to the main frame, the main page here. Okay, so this is should be what it looks like when you just log into it. Create citations. That's what I'm going to click here. Create citations. So what type of source is this? Well, it is an article found on a website. Now I'm going to just click here where it says website. Find your website. So what I do is I copy and paste the URL of that article and I put it in here. So let me go ahead and do that. Copy, paste. Let me search it up. Okay, so it found it. So How Trump Closed Down the Schools, that's the title of that article. It was by that writer. His last name is Graham. Here's the URL. And then over on the right side, there's this button that says Cite. Let's go ahead and cite this. Oh, okay, so we have some information here. So it kind of parsed the stuff out. So the article title, it's clearly labeled there. The URL, clearly labeled there. Website title is from that website called The Atlantic. The date accessed, July 17th, was the same date that it was published, July 17th. Let's go ahead and click continue. That's the noise that citation generators make when they're citing. Okay, so what I'm citing, the article title is here, the contributors, so the author is named David A. Graham, has all the publication information in there. Publisher of The Atlantic is a company called Atlantic Media Group. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm just looking here to see if it's all correct to make sure it's not giving any wonky information. Let me go ahead and complete the citation. Free. I don't need to pay $9.95 a month. Waiting. Oh, great. So we gotta watch this advertisement. Apologies, everyone. Today's class brought to you by Dyson V11. Okay. So I scroll down and, oh, okay, so since I did it twice, it has it here twice. So I'm gonna go ahead, I can look at it, looks good mostly, and I'll show you, or hopefully you guys actually can tell what's wrong. So copy bibliography citation, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's copied. I'm gonna go to my document where I'm keeping my annotated bib, or my citations rather. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. Oh crap, it formatted it weird. So formatting is something that can be very frustrating, and I'm going to create a different video that will show you all how to do that, because I understand it can be a little weird. So what did I change with the second citation? What did I add to it? If you answered the access date, you are correct. So let's go ahead and add the access date. I want to make sure that accessed July 17th, 2020, period. Now, I'm going to get rid of that where they kind of automatically hyperlink it. Just do that. So, that's how you do it, y'all. Like I said, normally I'm a little reluctant to show you how to do the citation generators because I think that's just a lazy way of doing it, but I do understand that it is a little bit more convenient. But like I said, you just need to make sure that it is all there, make sure that the information is correct. Okay, so stay tuned for, I'm going to show you guys how to actually format this in the document. I'm just going to make a separate video to do so. So stay tuned, y'all.